Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here, and we are kicking off round 4 of the 2023 PokeType League with two top 4 sides, two Elite 4 sides going head to head. It is the Motorstoke Engines in second place. They are hosting the Holon Heroes, who are currently in 4th place. Let us know in the comments below who you think will win this matchup. Will it be the Fire types? Will it be the Delta team?
3, 2, 1, go!
Huge stakes in this matchup, and currently the Fire types are undefeated, as it will be Ditto and Leafeon starting out for the Holon Heroes. It'll be Salazzle and Rivaroom starting out for the Motorstoke Engine, so we will have two terrestrial Pokemon on the field, and it looks like they're both going to be looking like Rivaroom, because Ditto has transformed into Rivaroom, and as always it will terrestrialize into the opposing side's type, whereas Rivaroom for the Motorstoke Engines will terrestrialize into its side's type. So we're going to have two Fire type Rivaroom on the field. They do lose that immunity to poison types. And speaking of poison types, we do have Salazzle on the field, who will have a huge type advantage over Leafeon. Leafeon actually being weak to the Fire type side. Do not know why the Holon Heroes have started out with that evolution, but Salazzle with the speed advantage on the field immediately with the Night Slash onto Ditto. Not being confused there by the Rivaroom, as a Shell Sidearm does connect with Rivaroom from Leafeon, and Pain Split from Ditto onto Rivaroom barely switches either of their health, though they're both looking the same as they did, as a Shadow Sneak from Rivaroom onto Leafeon. Not much damage being done with that move, as the Dazzling Gleam will connect on both Ditto and Leafeon from Salazzle, but Leafeon is able to respond with an ally switch, so it changes places with Ditto here, and Ditto is now going to follow it up with, sorry, not Ditto, I'm getting confused by the looks of these two Pokemon. It is Rivaroom with the status heal, the health heal. It gets itself back to full strength, as Ditto onto Rivaroom with the Flatter, boosting that special attack, but it is going to leave it confused. The two Rivaroom looking Pokemon on the field has left us confused up here in the commentary booth, as the Fury swaps from Salazzle is going to slow down the play just a little bit so I can catch my breath, thankfully, as it's able to connect with 3. It's got 4 now onto Leafeon. That is great for Salazzle, getting 4 of those connections. Leafeon, though, with the first impression, this is going to fail. It only works on the first turn a Pokemon is in the battle. And it is Rivaroom who is trying to shake off that confusion, but it is unsuccessful. It does do damage to itself there, allowing Ditto to go for the Screech here. But Salazzle is able to avoid that attack. Salazzle responds with the Parabolic Charge, doing damage to everybody on the field there, as it looks like the Fire types have the advantage, but we're going to get a beat up from Leafeon onto Salazzle. Another multi-hit move, but this one will connect for every remaining Pokemon on the side of the Heroes, which means it is going to connect 6 times onto Salazzle, getting in some good damage there with all 6 of those connections, as Rivaroom, still in its confused state, really needs to shake it off and have an impact, but it only has an impact on itself yet again, striking itself in its confusion, as the recover now from Ditto, and it needed to get some health back here, so it is going to be restoring health on this field, as Salazzle with the echoed voice is able to eliminate Leafeon from this matchup. The Motorstoke Engines getting the first elimination of the match, but it's going to be a Hyper Beam from Ditto onto Rivaroom, and it eliminates the Pokemon it copied in this matchup. Rivaroom is taken out of it here, and Ditto actually continues to get eliminations quite consistently in this season, as it has to restore its PP with its Leopard Berry already. Vaporeon coming out onto the field for the Heroes, and it's Ceruledge onto the side of the Engines, as we get a Circle Throw from Salazzle, but Vaporeon is able to avoid that attack, as Ditto has to recharge after that really impressive Hyper Beam, but a Ceaseless Edge from Ceruledge, and Vaporeon avoids yet another attack, and this allows it to go for the Weather Ball, but it doesn't affect Ceruledge, who is part Ghost type, as we have a Drill Peck now from Salazzle onto Vaporeon. Finally, they're able to connect with the Water type evolution, as the Discharge from Rivaroom, super effective on its teammate Vaporeon, but it is able to connect with both Fire types, as the Extreme Speeds from Ceruledge onto Vaporeon, who responds with the Reflect type. Vaporeon's going to become a Ghost and Fire type, so every Pokemon on the field now is a Fire type. As a Solar Beam is being set up by Salazzle, it is going to absorb some light, even though it doesn't look like there's much over the field at the moment. And we get the Heavy Slam from Ditto, not very effective on Salazzle, but it gets the critical hit and the elimination. Salazzle will not be able to complete that Solar Beam. Ceruledge setting up a Rain Dance. That rain is going to fall over this field. I don't think any fire type wants to be in that, and that kind of includes Vaporeon now. Again, having that fire ghost typing, as that flail will not affect Ceruledge. And it's Cinderace coming out onto the field for the Motorstoke Engines, immediately going for the Roost. With that Libero hidden ability, it will become a flying type, but its health is full, so nothing will happen. But a Skitter Smack onto Ceruledge. Not very effective there from Ditto, but it will lower that special attack of Ceruledge. And with that weak armor, its defense lowers, but it will get a speed boost here. It could become the quickest Pokemon on the field, as it is now going to go for an Air Slash in response onto Ditto there. And Vaporeon with the block, making it so Cinderace can no longer escape. And Ceruledge is now the quickest on the field, and with the Steel Wing almost gets the elimination of Vaporeon, but it's not very effective, and Vaporeon holds on as the Brine is super effective on Ditto from Cinderace, and Ditto is taken out of this matchup. There are 2 Pokemon down for both sides, 4 remaining on each side as that Sun now comes back out, and a Sky Attack is being set up here by Vaporeon, becoming cloaked in that harsh light. And now out comes Flareon, another Fire-type Pokemon, as the Blizzard by Ceruledge is avoided by Flareon, but Vaporeon is unable to get out of the way, and with a not very effective critical hit, I do not think that critical hit mattered, Vaporeon is eliminated. And Cinderace, the Flying-type Cinderace that is, with the Hypnosis onto Flareon. Flareon has been put to sleep. That is not good for the Hollow Knight Heroes. You do not want that status condition preventing you from going for an attack. As Flareon here, fast asleep on the field, and out comes Umbreon to join it by its side. And immediately, with a head smash, Ceruledge onto Umbreon gets a good hit there. There is some recoil damage for the Ghost-type Pokemon. As Cinderace now with the Toxic. And Umbreon is able to avoid that attack. Could you imagine a poisoned Umbreon? Let alone a Poison-type Umbreon, as Umbreon now going for the fly. Trying to go similar for that Sky Attack that Vaporeon was trying to set up. It will fly up high into the sky, so it will be able to dodge attacks, as an Outrage from Ceruledge misses Umbreon, who is still up in the sky. And now Cinderace with the low kick also goes for Umbreon, and that would have been super effective as well, as Umbreon is able to complete the fly onto the Flying type Cinderace, as Flareon is still fast asleep on this field. We have a bit of Malice now from Ceruledge, not very effective there onto Umbreon, but did get the critical hit. Not that you would think so. However, it will lower Umbreon's attack stat here. And Cinderace following it up with the Last Respects. Yet again, not very effective, but Umbreon is becoming an easier target on this field right now. As it goes for a Shell Smash, it's going to lower its physical and special defenses, but it will boost its attack, special attack, and its speed, so it could potentially become the quickest Pokemon on the field. And with that heavily boosted attack and special attack, it will want to capitalize on that, as Flareon finally wakes up on the field and goes for the Sludge Wave. It's going to hit everybody on the field, including Umbreon, and it eliminates its teammate. This is terrible for the Hollow Knight Heroes, as their last Pokemon is Sylveon coming out onto the field. And Ceruledge with the Shell Side Arm onto Flareon gets a great hit there on the Fire-type evolution. And a Water Pledge from Cinderace onto Sylveon. You have to think maybe they should have gone for the opposing Pokemon that they went for, but a Spirit Shackle from Flareon onto Cinderace, and Cinderace is eliminated from this matchup. That is exactly what the Hollow Knight Heroes need to do, and a Dragon Dance from Sylveon gets the first hit. It will lower that defense. I do not think this is going to have an impact though, because this second Dragon Dart is going to eliminate Ceruledge from this matchup. We are down to 2 Pokemon aside. The Hollow Knight Heroes are still in this as Arcanine comes in, and it is joined by Iron Moth. Iron Moth immediately going for a wrap here on the Sylveon. Not very much damage there, but it will do continuous damage throughout this matchup. Now Arcanine follows it up with a Spirit Shackle of its own onto Flareon, and now Flareon knows how it feels to be eliminated by the Spirit Shackle. Arcanine with a fantastic connection, as Sylveon responds with a wrap of its own onto Arcanine, gets the critical hit, but Arcanine also being wrapped will be receiving continuous damage from that as well. Now Iron Moth will have the speed advantage, which is great for the Motorstoke Engines, as it goes for the Lunar Blessing, and it is going to restore the health here of Arcanine. It should get it back to full strength, and that does. Arcanine looking nice and refreshed, immediately goes for the Discharge does do a little bit of damage to Ironmoth and leaves it paralyzed. It does actually do damage to Sylveon as well, but has just paralyzed its own teammate is Sylveon with the cross poison onto Arcanine, and there's Arcanine feeling the effects of that wrap, as does Sylveon. Now Ironmoth is going to be heavily slowed down now due to the paralysis, but Arcanine still with the speed advantage with the drop kick onto Sylveon, but Sylveon holds on even though its attacks that does get lowered. Its Q Charm is going to cause Arcanine to fall in love with Sylveon, and Sylveon now going with the Bug Bite onto Ironmoth, which is heavily resisted, but it does steal its Leopard Berry, which is horrible to do. You do not steal somebody else's food, especially eating right in front of them, and neither of those circumstances are good, but a heavy slam from Ironmoth is super effective and gets the elimination of Sylveon. The Motorstoke Engines remain undefeated, and with that, this will put them on top of the leaderboard, which is fantastic for them, as next round they will be taking the side on the bottom of the leaderboard, the Glisado Nordics, whereas the Holland Heroes will stay in 4th, and next round they will be taking on the Strighton Greens, who are currently 1 place out of the Elite Four in 5th position. I cannot wait for that matchup. But until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.